Alright. So, Pidrow asked me to look at this game and give him some advice, which has just alarm bells going off all over the place. Like, I have no idea if he's memeing me, if he's trolling me, or if he actually genuinely wants my advice. He said, I respect you as a player and as a caster. That to me seems like a lie if I've ever seen it, but let's see how this game progresses. And we're obviously going to look from Pedro's perspective and see if maybe there are some tips that we can give him, even though we're not much better than Pidrow, if I'm being completely frank with you. Also, looking at things. What? Wait, what? Did he just ring the bell like 5 times? Dude, he's messing with me. He does not respect me as a caster or as a player at all. I'm just waiting for him to like do something else dumb, like ping all over the map. He definitely just rang the bell like 5 times, right? I didn't just like speed up through that. Okay, alright, whatever. Alright, wait. Why is he going for early farms? That also doesn't make a whole... Like, is he purposely doing things that you shouldn't be doing to see if I will actually correct him on those things? I don't know. But this whole game has, like, sus written all over it. Why does he have 2 farms constructed that he's not using at all? Okay, I guess now he's using them, but why not have these all on sheep, I suppose, or you also still have berries. Now, on the plus side, student farms are relatively cheaper, so if we look over here, farms cost 40% less wood, so at least he's making advantage of his bonus, I guess. Interesting that DK. Wow, try saying that 5 times. DK. Okay, I'm not actually going to say that 5 times. I'm sorry. I might be having fun over here, but that's a little bit too much fun. What is he going to go for with Saracens? I mean, I guess Saracens do have the advantage that they could potentially buy themselves up to castle relatively quickly. Pidrow going for a slightly later approach, probably looking to construct a castle. No, it doesn't look like he's on stone, so no castle from him yet. And I don't know why he wanted me to analyze this game. It looks like pretty solid play from both players. Wondering what he's going to go for. Okay, scout engage over here. Blue faster to feudal, so that's now a problem. Would actually be good if he pulled it back over here and maybe even have the villager to come and help out. No, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Keeping the scout alive is big, so no complaints there. Archers from DK. Obviously, Pidrow doesn't see any of this. He's barely even scouted his opponent, so that might be a surprise that Saracen archers are coming his way, which also is relatively strange for me, because why wouldn't DDK go for a castle age on arena? I feel like that's what most players do nowadays, is 26 pop up and then go from there, because your units are just so much stronger in castle age, especially if you have stone walls. You can probably get the castle safely even still, but man, that's a lot of archers from blue over here. Yeah, he really wants to put some forward pressure. He has to go castle age in order to get a siege workshop or anything in that nature, so I'm a little bit confused on what this build actually is and how strong this build is. So Pidrow now knows, because his scout scouted the archers and the spear, that something is coming his way. I don't know if you have to overly invest, especially since those walls are not going to go down. You can literally just chill here forever and not worry too much about picking them off. I don't know if I agree with getting the padded archer armor because it slows down your castle age so much. He could have already been castle at this point had he not gotten that upgrade. And if you are going to go for these skirms, I would recommend that you're going to engage against them. Oh, okay. So I understand. I understand now what the strategy is from DDK. So DDK is going for the Saracen archer rush, but on arena for whatever reason, and that's the reason why they're doing so much damage against this wall. But there's another wall behind here. Pidrow should make sure that this is actually completely walled off. And this wall is still going to take quite a long time. Oh, I think there's a hole over here. Oh, I don't know about targeting the scout there, buddy. I mean, if you can shoot the archers, definitely target the scout. But if you can, oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know for sure. Get that spearman over there at the very least to kill that scout, and definitely target the archers over here. That's an interesting. I've never thought about that. I've never thought about using Saracen archers on arena, not needing to get a siege workshop because they get that +2 bonus damage. So for those of you who don't know, Saracen archers get a +2 versus buildings as their team bonus. My God, could you imagine Saracens teamed up with Cumans? You know what? That's it. We're trying it. Saracens teamed up with Cuman quadruple archery range rush. I love it. That sounds like a great idea to me. And now he does have a whole bunch of archers. Let's check over here. 15 military against 12, but Pidrow has the counter military. Also, I would recommend, if Pidrow is really trying to try hard boy this, to re-wall this section over here. Okay, he is trying to try hard, and he is actually going to re-wall. And I think that's a good decision overall. He just put so much effort into trying to take that down. And I wonder how much is DK, DDK. It's like a drum beat. DK, DDK. Going to commit to archer numbers over here, especially knowing that his opponent is going full skirm. I think it would be in DK, DDK. I don't think I've messed that name up even once this game. I'm proud of myself just for that reason. I also like the formation over here with the spear in the front. Oh, but oh no, disaster over here. I think you just engage against the archers. If the scout does come by, I probably want to target it. That scout is doing so much work against Pidrow. Why are you retreating? I think you can easily take this engage. Yeah, just get rid of the scout, and now you can easily clean up these archers. They don't have the defense upgrade. You have the defense upgrade, but wait, why didn't he get fletching? I think fletching would have been so much better, increasing the range. Then they can go toe to toe with those archers in terms of range, right? Before they couldn't. That's why he was having such a hard time engaging. Going for some scouts is DK, DK, DDK. And I would like to actually see an addition of some archers in this skirmisher mix. Reason being that you already have all of the upgrades, and it would allow you to kill scouts if they did come to try and snipe off your skirmishers. Going just skirm is very easily countered by a couple of scouts, but once you mix in some archers, that's a whole different game. Immediately going for the defense upgrade as well. I don't like that play. I would have much preferred Pidrow to go for the attack upgrade rather than the defense upgrade. Also, he's getting pikemen, but he doesn't actually have any pikemen on the field. It seems like 17 army and 18 army. No, he doesn't have any pikemen on the field. Yet he is getting the pikeman upgrade over here. I wonder if he's going to get like Saracen blasted over here. Once these Saracen archers get rolling, this could be very, very dangerous. Hiding that scout is going to get picked off as well. Man, this has been pretty exciting. I mean, I was not expecting Pidrow to be up against such a wacky strategy. See, this is why you meme strat, is so that you can handle strategies like this. And I don't know, I think you just boom behind and you should be okay. You're already castle, your opponent is not. If you're producing 2 villagers, you actually should be getting the vill. What happened? What happened? Why are you so far behind in villagers? Pidrow is 6 villagers behind. He's not producing from both of his CCs. In order to produce from both TCs, you need 6. And that, you know what? You know what it is? His competition is so food heavy. And these vills could get picked off right here. Siege Workshop, okay, not a bad decision. If you can get 1 or 2 big mango shots off, that could be good, especially against that large number of army. Also, you have the ultimate composition now. You should be moving out, and I think you should actually build this Siege Workshop more offensively. Build it forward, since you do have the advantage of being castled so much faster than your opponent. Also, you have the counter units to your opponents until knights come out. That's why I think mixing in archers would be very favorable. Why go for a battering ram here, Pidrow? If you go for a mango, A, it counters the archers, and B, mangoes are way more awesome murderer than battering rams. Although, I guess it could soak up a whole bunch of arrow fire, whereas mangoes don't take as many shots. But he doesn't know. He doesn't know his opponent's composition. He doesn't know. He just knows about this one stable over here. He doesn't even know if he's continued archer production, and he is still. No, he's about even in villager count. He should have been way ahead because he was too. I think he probably idled his TC to go castle and not spend a whole bunch of food. So that makes sense. Okay, now he knows a whole bunch of archers to deal with, and he should be engaging against this. Also, once again, I feel like if he just had a mango, it'd be so much easier to engage. Okay, that was a good cleanup on the scouts. And definitely want to engage before those castle age up. Why is he so hesitant to engage here? Blue literally has nothing except for these archers, and if these archers upgrade, then he's going to be in a lot more trouble. Targeting the... Come on, Pidrow, what are you doing here? You're better than this, man. Gotta get the attack upgrade on these skirmishers, because now these crossbows are going to be able to outrange you and potentially out-micro you. And knights coming out, and the pikemen are out of position as well. Oh, who do you think you are? The controller against sad scientists? Oh man, remember when Dave went full skirms against sad scientists? Who cares about the house? Why are you targeting non-essential buildings, Pidrow? Oh man, I definitely see a lot of little things. I mean, overall, I think Pidrow's play is very, very solid. But it looks like Blue is on free TCs and is actually out booming Pidrow at this time. Hasn't produced very much army, is focusing on his economy, and is probably going to focus back on military in just a little bit. Yeah, he's getting bloodlines. He's probably going to get the defense upgrades for his knight as well. And that's why I said, get some archers in here. That way, if the skirmishers get... Oh my god, look how easily he's giving up 4 pikemen. Oh, cool. You have no more pikemen? Well, good thing I have a knight over here with +1 armor and additional HP. And even though that was not the most efficient trade with the knight because it got outnumbered so significantly, they can't comfortably engage against the archers and the knight at the same time. Now the pikemen show up. I'm telling you, add a couple of archers in the mix. They do significantly more damage to those knights. Also, it's less heavy on your food economy, allowing you to produce continual villagers for longer. He also has so many resources in the bank. Is he trying to go imp at this point? Does look like imp is on the horizon, but once again, all of these units are slowing down his imp time significantly. If he was going for gold units as well, I feel like that would be a lot faster for him. Now, even mixing in knights, this is a good engage though overall. If you can keep this engaged, getting the monastery as well, would actually not mind Pidrow potentially getting ballistics at some point, since he has invested so much into these skirms. I know skirms are a trash unit and all that. Oh, okay. He's going full trash with Teutons, which is not horrible. And I guess you don't really want to go for Teutonic Knights against crossbows. And these skirmishers, I guess, are still getting relatively good value. 5 attack, and his knights have... How much defense over here? I don't like how Blue's DK is trickling these. 3 defense, so 2 damage per shot. Needs 60 shots. Has 20 skirmishers, so that's 3 rounds of each one of those skirmishers to kill a knight. That's not the worst. Actually, I feel like Pidrow's in a position that he could just push this home. I mean, only minor mistakes on his part. I mean, he made it seem like this rattled him. Now Blue has, now he has pretty good numbers over here, and he should be able to clean this up. Even with the 2 pikemen over here, if Blue can target down those pikemen, that would be even better for him. Kind of missed targeting over here. Definitely want to target those pikemen if you are DK. And Pidrow definitely want to target those archers. Yeah, now you're in a load of trouble because your whole army is going to get swept up. Also, why I didn't really like the battering rams and would have liked to have seen some mangoes because they offer a lot more offensive potential against skirmishers and against knights. Blue even mixing in some skirmishers of his own to not get that bonus damage from those elite scrims. And Pidrow simply needs a different composition here. Very, very food heavy. Is Imperial Age, but what ultimate unit comp is he going to? I honestly think, how good are Teutonic archers? Not good at all. So this is what you gotta be thinking. What am I going for? Is he going towards Paladin? Not really. Not really, right? Because he's been getting all of those archer upgrades. Is he going to Teutonic Knights or Champion? Also not really. And that's why I was also thinking, like, if you do go for Siege... Where's my Siege workshop over here? Poop Lord, you already passed it. Oh, okay, cool. If you do go for Siege, why not go for Mangonels? If you can keep them alive, if you can keep those pikemen around, you could actually get Siege Onager. And I know that crossbow is not the best, but if you've already invested so much into Elite Skirmisher, which is significantly more expensive in my opinion, why not just invest in some crossbows as well? They're relatively harmless on your economy, and mixing those in, they do significantly more damage against those knights. Ooh, getting some monks here. That could actually be really good. Getting knights and monks of your own, I think that would be a decent play as well. Look, there's never like a perfect way to play something. But in this situation, the knights are wrecking you. You need to do something else than just make pikemen. I like the addition of mixing in your own knights, especially since you do get Paladin, and Teutonic Paladin are pretty solid to say the least. Yeah, but now the entire military force from Pidrow has been swooped up, and I would recommend that he kind of, does some of this, where he bundles them up at home. Let's take a look at his eco. Now, he told me to seriously analyze this game, so I'm seriously analyzing this game. Once again, I don't know where this is going. I don't know if this was all just a troll to make me lose an hour of my time, and this game is not exciting at all, but so far it's been pretty back and forth. So I do really appreciate that. He definitely needs another monastery indoors. Going for additional pikemen. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. I feel like you can definitely go toe-to-toe with Saracen Knights as Teutons, and that way you have the mobility versus always being on the back foot with the crossbows behind. The crossbows are going to be easily capable of taking out all of your helps, and then those knights can just kind of run around and make your life miserable. Now an onager, I think that's a little bit too late, and that onager is probably also going to be wasted, to be honest with you. Overall, DK is also just doing a much better job booming. Pidrow had an opportunity to boom, but now he's just going to get pushed. Slow and steady. And can't really engage against this. Would actually not be opposed. I know I'm supposed to analyze from... I was going to say this. Although, you have the advantage here. I would just plop this like right over here. Or if you're blue, if you know about any of the golds, this spot right here is also brutal if you can get it up. Kind of just walk through these houses. I know that would kind of alert Pidrow to the situation, but if you place that castle here, you're denying this gold, you're denying this gold, And you have a nice entryway into Pedro's base. Whereas this, you're going to have to go imp and get trebs, right? Also, Pedro has been imp for so much longer, but what has imp really gotten him? Halbs, great, but how is he able to engage against knights with halbs? Blue is pushing Pedro in Castle Age. Pedro needed to get more out of imp, in my opinion, and exactly what I was talking about is happening right now. The knights are able to run around and harass the skirmishers, whereas the archers, even though they're only Castle Age archers, are able to just pick off the halbs one by one by one. Ugh, this is hard to watch. And now that the imp upgrades are coming in, it's only going to get rougher and rougher for Pedro. Arbalest on the way. Would not be surprised if we saw the range upgrade on that as well. He did actually get the range upgrade. I think the range upgrade for ranged unit is just so much better than getting the armor, because in a perfect situation, you don't want your enemy to get to you at any point in time. Oh, I wonder what challenges I complete as we look at these cool Amazonians. Absolutely reckon Pedro's last skirm, and this looks like a GG if I have ever seen it. Significantly pushed back. Eco in the advantage of DK. Drum beats, man. Gotta keep up with the beat. These Crenellation castles are sick, though. But now that the Trebs are here, this is going to be slow and steady wins the race. I now understand a little bit better why Blue was a little bit hesitant about placing this castle, say, here. Because Pidrow was imp for so much longer. However, he was not able to capitalize on imp at all. And look at these arbs absolutely shredding through that barracks. That's kind of funny as well. I think it would have been better if they condensed on the gate over here. But even if this goes down, it would be nice to wall behind. Pidrow, wall behind. Come on, dude. You got a wall behind over here. It's not too bad. But I still would wall behind. Why not slap? You know he's trying to get through here. Why not slap in an additional stone gate? Also, Blue is just comfortably pushing out military units. Pidrow has a lot of food and a lot of gold in the bank, but he's not making any gold units. What's he spending his gold on? Trebs? Trebs are not going to help him win the fight in close quarters. It's only going to allow Blue to slowly but surely squeeze Pidrow. Oh, man. Yeah, I just don't like the help decision. Honestly, I think if Pidrow had just gone... I know he would have been behind with the knights and all of that, but he had the number of skirms. And then what you can do is you can engage with your knights against their knights, and hopefully with your skirms against their archers, and you can get a pretty good engage with that, because both of your forces, you and your opponents, are relatively mobile. So his knights are going to be trying to go for your skirms, and your knights are going to try and be going for his archers. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the mobility would have definitely been helpful over here. That being said, Pidrow's doing a nice job holding over here, but once these free trebs start trebbing down that castle... Yikes. Another wall, please! Oh... These knights shouldn't even just stick around here. They should just run. They should just run into the eco. And at this point, I can only see downhill momentum going in Pidrow's direction. I'm just going to put Pidrow out of his misery over here, because I don't see him coming back from this. If he does, and this was a total troll, kudos. Okay, so now he's making Teutonic Knights. He did get some of those defense upgrades and attack upgrades because he had halbs. But they're slow. The same problem with the halbs the TKs have, because they're just going to get shot to all of a smitherin. If he had invested into Onager and Halb, I think that would have been a very solid play as well. I mean, it's all what you want to go for. I just didn't really like the full skirmisher play. I don't know. I'm not a pro, but I feel like Pidrow's composition was off. And if you want to give some suggestions to Pidrow, obviously constructive criticism. I don't think he played bad. Just for the record, I don't think he played bad at all in this game. It looks like DK is definitely quite the formidable opponent. And this is a slow push to victory at this point. Yeah, he should be expanding to the neutral golds as well. And Pidrow's just holding. He's not gaining ground. The military numbers are definitely in DDK's favor. And he's just going to roll this game home slowly. And now Pidrow's going to get harassed. Yeah. He had an opportunity to drop another gate behind. And his whole eco is idle. Actually, is now, in terms of villagers, 4 ahead. But how efficient are his villagers? Not very, to say the least. And yeah, he has nothing to clear this up. So these knights are just gonna run around infinitely. And yeah, I know. Also, another reason to prioritize the attack upgrade. Even if you're an imp, your TCs and your castles actually do additional damage. So I would not have minded, since he was getting so much pressure at home, to get another range upgrade. It helps out your skirmishers, but more so it helps out your castle and your TC if you're being harassed. And also, like, look at the engage over here. 7 versus 8. These guys could, if they wanted to, if this was higher elo, these arbs could shoot and pull back, shoot and pull back, shoot and pull back, and the skirmishers would never see the light of day. And Blue's just doing a really good job engaging with his knights against skirmishers and not engaging against halbs. Now the rams come in, and Pidrow's entire base is going to slowly but surely get ran down. I do kind of give Pidrow props for his tenacity. He's really trying to stay in this game. But these arbs, I mean, this is game over, Pidrow. This has been game over for a while. Although if Blue does make a major mistake, it could potentially swing into Pidrow's favor. Another reason why I like Siege Onager, or just Onager, to be honest with you. Get 1 or 2 big shots on these arbs, and all of a sudden, game is back in your control, or at least more so. Oh man, he's trying to escape over here, and Blue's going to spot him at the same time. He does not want him to escape. Even taking, oh my god, insult to injury over here. Oh, Pidrow, why did you send this game into me, man? Ugh. And the worst part is he didn't make a huge mistake, in my opinion. I know everybody in the comments is gonna be like, oh, Pidrow's the worst player ever, or he's the best player ever, and people are just gonna say nonsense regardless. I try and make my criticism as objective as possible, but this game is over at this point. And looking back at it, I honestly don't see too many huge mistakes. I feel like he was... Oh, wait. What the... just happened? No way. Is he pulling this game back? Oh, you son of a brisket. How did you get through over here? How did... Oh my god, now he's going for the Cavalier. I like this a lot better, although you shouldn't just send... Oh, it's a base race. Oh my god, when did this happen? How long has this been going on for? TKs, man. TKs are no joke. Was there a sneak base over here? There was a sneak base over here. Oh my god, those villagers that we saw leaving earlier, they were not there to relocate. They were there to drop this on Blue's face. And this is what I was talking about. Your Cavalier can easily go toe-to-toe against your opponent's knights, but as valiant as this effort is, I feel like it's too little, too late, as Pidrow is still down 45 village. I mean, that was cool though. I'm a little bit sad I missed that though, but Pidrow realized that something needed to change, and I like that he did decide to go for Cavalier. Although I think if he made this decision a lot earlier, would have been a lot better. Yeah, his base at home is just shreked. Well, I like that little moment of excitement there at the end. It would have been really cool if Pidrow could have completely cleared out Blue's base as he was getting slammed at home. But it wasn't meant to be. Like I was saying, I think Pidrow should have gotten a little bit more advantage out of the castle ages. I think what he could have done, he built that siege workshop over here somewhere, all the way at home. Since he was castle age significantly earlier, and he had elite skirm for a while, he could have marched out with those elite skirmishers. Even though his opponent may have a bunch of scouts, elite skirms still fare relatively well. Get the attack upgrade rather than the defense upgrades. I think that was useful information as well. And then with a forward siege workshop, start to put some pressure onto Blue's base while booming at home on 2 TCs to catch up with the villager count. Because I'm assuming, and I might be mistaken on this, I'm assuming Pidrow idled his TC to go castle faster. You know, looking at it, doesn't even look like he idled his TC for that much. Yeah, I mean the eco numbers look pretty even. I'm just confused why his economic lead wasn't so much larger with 3 additional minutes in castle. He could have dropped 2 or 3 TCs instead of just the 1 TC. Just boomed it out at home, kept himself safe. Also, I gotta respect DK for going for a Saracen archer rush on arena. That's pretty nutty. I like that. I hope some of the advice helped, or maybe none of the advice helped, but regardless, this was quite fun for me to cast. So, I tried to do it justice, Pidrow. I don't think you played bad. I think you played quite competently, but your military composition was slightly off. You lack the mobility, which is often a problem with students, if I'm being completely honest. As students, you also don't really want to invest into scouts. So if you are going to go for scouts in feudal, that's okay, but then you have to invest into knights and cavalier in castle and imperial age, and I don't think Pidrow was willing to pull the trigger on that. I think he was very comfortable going for skirm halb, which I don't think is the best composition. Anyway, guys, thanks for walking. Oh, sorry, what composition would I have gone for? Well, I'm a dipstick, so I probably would have just rushed his gate, then battered down his gate, and then Tootin' TC dropped him. No, I'm kidding. I think I would have preferred to see Halb Onager, or I would have preferred to see. I mean, he invested so much into skirms already, so skirm cavalier, imperials, or sorry, elite skirm and cavalier. I think that's pretty reasonable as well. And then if your opponent invests into help to stop your cavalier, well, now you have the advantage because you can easily tech into Teutonic Knights. Anyway, guys, thanks for walking. Poop Lord out.